Tato movie guy. Okay.
So, It Comes at Night, made by Trey Edward Schultz. It is the latest A24 distributed film. We love A24 on this channel. It Comes at Night is another one that I've been looking forward to for a while. It has kind of received a lot of anger again, just like The Witch did. You know, you have people saying, well, it's classified as a horror movie, but it's not actually a horror movie. Like, oh. Who cares? If it's unique and is different, watch it. You know, some people don't like genres. That's fine. But for me, I will go watch anything that A24 would distribute anyway. The best way to I don't want to like give you everything. So the core story is it's of a teenage boy who is in a cottage with his mother and father. They have left wherever they're from because of a some form of plaguey virus is taking over, and they're living in fear. But the fears are just not outside, but they're inside. Oh, and that's the story. I don't really want to say much more to you. It has, I think, obviously it's not horror. That's fine. It's a psychological thriller, definitely. It is very vague when it comes to the story itself, and obviously a lot of people like to be spoon-fed this information. For me, I don't. I like to interpret it. I like to see what happens and what develops in the story. And this is what I enjoyed about this film. I think that Schultz doesn't really give you that much, but you just have to interpret. But at the same time, the fear of the unknown always seems to work better in these kind of movies. But you don't see a thing. You don't know what it is, what might be in the woods, what is going on. But I liked it. Fear is a very interesting element to life. You know, we fear a lot of things. I hate snakes, and I hate old people licking ice cream. That is the other thing I'm petrified of. I hate it. When I live in the coast, and whether it's summertime and I go to a place called Llandudno. Llandudno has a lot of old people and they lick ice cream. It freaks me out. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. So the whole narrative, I like it. I it doesn't. It's a bit too vague, and it's very similar to the concept of the witch. Like the middle section drags a bit too. For an hour and a half of a film, you do feel like it's like a 2 hour long movie sometimes, and I feel like it doesn't. That is one of the issues of It Comes at Night, is that you're just being given this very thin story, but trying to keep it going and going and going and going, because something does happen and it does, you know, take it to this next level, but at the same time, yeah, it's not well, it is necessary because the third act is pretty strong. um I love the cinematography in it. It's very, it could be better, but at the same time, I think it was a $5 million budget, so obviously maybe Joel Edgerton cost a bit towards this, so maybe that didn't help. But I do like the cinematography. I like the score. It's very brooding, and it has like shining tints to it. Not much, but most horror films have a shining tint to it because The Shining is probably one of the best horror movies there is. I do enjoy that aspect, and then Schultz just really, you know, for a major feature film debut for someone, I think he does a good job. It does. It hasn't. When after I went to watch The Witch, I'm sorry that I'm comparing it to The Witch, but this is, you know, it's the same similar kind of issue. But with The Witch, that film like provoked. It was like so thought provoking, and it, you know, stayed in my head for all year. And I think I put it in my top 10 in the end. I think I did. I did enjoy it. I thought it was very very good. This one, it has a few. It lacks development in some elements, and it lacks information for some people. The person I went to watch it with wasn't happy with it. With that, we weren't really aware of more of the situation, but I was content with it. It was. I don't know if you guys have seen Z for Zachariah, which had Chiwetel Ejiofor, Margot Robbie, Chris Pine. It has similar elements to it, but different kind of context to the story. So you should check out Z for Zachariah and It Comes at Night, and maybe double feature it, because that would be an interesting. It was a good movie, Z for Zachariah as well. But It Comes at Night, I liked it, but it did leave me slightly hollow, and I did want a bit more from it. I do have to say that Kelvin Harrison Jr., who plays the son, Joel Edgerton's son, is really good in this film, and I hope to see him in more films. His dream sequences, where most of the horror elements of the film are, it's so good, and you see the fear in his eyes. Obviously, I don't know if it's because he looks younger as well. The naivety, is continuing. The naivety helps towards the character itself. But I did enjoy him, and I do hope to see him more in film, hopefully. And then obviously Joel Edgerton. I love Joel Edgerton in smaller films. I feel like he's a better, when he works with Jeff Nichols or, The Gift. He needs to make another movie because I loved him in The Gift, and obviously he wrote and directed The Gift. So I do hope to see him in more, hopefully at some point. Carmen Ejogo, his wife, she was just a pawn in the whole thing. She didn't really have much conviction or anything like that. But it's a good, strong cast. I enjoy it. If you're a cinema lover and you want to try something a bit different, then check out It Comes at Night. I was very surprised that it actually came out in my area. In all honesty, I was very surprised that it was out here. But there we go. 3 out of 5. I would never watch it again, but I went, so it's all good. So guys, again, thank you very much for watching. If you want to talk to me and stuff, everything's below. The written review for It Comes at Night is below. I do want to carry on writing and vlogging because it's better for me. There are sometimes, most of the time, I do only write reviews for some films. For example, recently I've seen Anya Lily Ampoor's The Bad Batch reviews on my website and my Letterboxd. David Lynch, The Art of Life, the Lynch's new documentary, that's online. I just don't see the point in making a video for every film I watch because it takes a while, and when you work and stuff as well, it doesn't help. But I do have a lot more of eclectic films. Anyway, guys, thank you. Danke, deal. Subscribe. That'd be nice too. Arigato. I am going to see The Big Isle this weekend. Thank Christ for that. So I'm going to be reviewing The Big Isle next. So yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you soon.
Ok.